Hi guys, this is your girl, Black and Indigenous American. As always, I hope all is well with you guys. I'm just eating some trail mix. As you can tell by the title of this live video, I'm going to talk a little bit as far as my opinions regarding Mother Earth, the Amazon, as far as the fires, right? Just wondering what's in our food. And then also the crop, the hemp crop, H-E-M-P. So anyway, let's start off this video with regards to Mother Earth. Mother Earth gives us life, right? And then what you see on the news the past few weeks regarding the Amazon. And these fires were intentionally started. And from what I've been told, they were started, the fires in the Amazon, for the sake of livestock, cattle, raising cattle. Now, fast forward to having a vegetarian/vegan lifestyle. More and more people are starting to wake up, not so much for the environment, but for their health. But if you take it a step further and you focus on Mother Earth, and you see that all of this land is being abused for the sake of our beef, cow dairy, or dairy in general, and everything else you can think of. And when you kind of look at it that way, more so than, oh, I just want to feel better, I don't want to consume, animal products and hormones and stuff like that. When you look past that, and you see the devastation to indigenous populations, you're also seeing devastation to all populations. But let's not forget about our brothers and sisters in the Amazon who are indigenous, who are at the front lines right about now, being displaced for the sake of a hamburger and a glass of milk. Let's think about that. It's horrific. Now, initially, when I did the whole vegetarian thing, it was after the fasting, it turned into just a lifestyle. I felt better. It was hard for me to digest beef anyway. I thought it was normal. It wasn't normal. I just wasn't supposed to have it. I was not supposed to be consuming it in the first place. But I did anyway, because, that's what we're conditioned to do. And depending on where you live, you have some people that are into pork, barbecue, all the grease and high cholesterol food you want. And that's the norm, right? That's the norm. I'm looked upon as weird whenever I do travel down south to go home, because my whole mindset and eating habits has just changed over the years. And in their eyes, it's a drastic change. Not so much for me, but I say all of this because Where do you draw the line? Seriously, where do you draw the line? All of that devastation going on, and there's other fires going on too, by the way, around the globe. They were done intentionally, and it had nothing to do with uh, allowing the soil to increase nutrients and stuff like that. Because I know that that type of fire, intentional fire, is okay. But this stuff that's going on right now is devastation. That's what it is. Now, at the end of the day, nature is going to purge with or without us. How many years has this planet been here? How many ages? Yet she still gives life. And again, it's going to be either with or without us. At this point, 2019, we all need to do better. All of us. All of us need to do better. This is like preventable. Something like that that's been going on in indigenous populations down there in the Amazon. You can prevent that devastation. From what I've been reading up on, the jungles and things of that nature in Amazon is Earth's lungs. And it's going up in smoke, among other things that's going on. I knew there was a reason why I had an admiration or what have you towards Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor, right? I always gravitated towards whatever movies he happened to be in, not knowing that his energy like pulled me in whatever character he was playing. And later, you know, the past few years, I've noticed that he's been very pro the environment, the health of the environment, which at the end of the day is the health of us as a species and also as all creation, wildlife. It's supposed to have all of us. And so I give him nothing but respect for what he's doing and connecting and things of that nature. Because right now, there must be chaos before things get better. I don't know how much more chaos, but chaos has to happen before things settle down. And if you believe in the Big Bang Theory or in the beginning, as far as the Bible, there was chaos. And maybe this is the chaos that has to happen in order for the scales to balance again. Maybe. That's what I believe. But at the same time, it's tough to feel as if you're helpless, and I'm only but so big in my own little world to be able to reach out and help people, you know, same hemisphere, obviously, but further south. And At the end of the day, this is going to take some spiritual heavy lifting. For real, for real. And we see more and more of it on the news and, you know, whatever platform, news platform. We see more of it. It's being unveiled. And when things actually change for the better, you have to remove the ugly. Like a baby's dirty diaper, right? Can't keep that diaper on that baby because eventually that baby's going to have a rash, a diaper rash. You got to get rid of it. You can't pretend that the baby's diaper is not messy. It's going to start to smell. The baby going to have a rash. The baby's going to be irritable and crying. You got to get rid of it. And so a lot of the things that we see now, and it seems like it's the labor pains, as some people call it, the destruction and the suffering that so many communities and populations are dealing with, it's been increasing. It feels that way, right? It feels like it's been increasing. It's been there the whole time. It's just, it's being unveiled now. And we have to stay in prayer. We have to keep each other's other spirits lifted up as well. Now, I want to kind of shift what I'm trying to say. For those who are still eating meat, now let me talk about Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger. Now that we're talking about, you know, trying to get away from, you know, animal products or whatever, I don't trust it. Sorry, guys. I do not trust Beyond Meat, even though it's non-genetically modified, apparently. I don't trust it. And I definitely don't trust the Impossible Burger, which is genetically modified. I think Burger King is selling the Impossible Burger. I don't trust it. Sure, maybe there'll be less cattle slaughtered, but then you turn around and create this Frankenstein burger, and everybody flocks and gets it because it tastes just like a regular burger, but it's so much chemicals added to it just so it can taste like a burger and have the texture like a regular burger. Get it? Impossible Burger. Like, oh my goodness, this cannot be vegan or whatever. Yeah. That too is another can of worms. Now, I've tried different types of meat alternatives, and some of them were better than others. And I finally came across one that was not soy-based. It's not GM. It's not GMO. It's organic. It's called No Evil. N-O, like no, and evil, like being bad. So No Evil. I really like that sausage. Now, of course, it's not publicly traded. That would be too good to be true, right? But hello, Beyond Meat is. Tyson's Chicken apparently had bought a lot of shares in the Beyond Meat, and then they sold a lot of shares. So I've been hearing through the grapevine that Tyson's Chicken brand or whatever, they're going to get into the meat alternative industry as well. Instead of, I guess, buying out Beyond Meat, they decided to sell their shares of Beyond Meat and focus on their version of the alternative chicken and all that. I don't trust it. Don't trust it. It's all about profit, people. Now, I've been doing my research and trying to find publicly traded companies that are environmentally friendly, vegan, or what have you, because I want to be able to support them. And it's so freaking hard to find a company like that. But then you have Tyson's and you have Beyond Meat, which Beyond Meat stock price is incredible. For those who got in early, they making money, okay? But still, not killing a chicken, not slaughtering a hog or a cow or whatever. Frankenstein food. Not killing a cow, Frankenstein food. Where's the balance? Where's the balance? Are you any healthier? Is eating Frankenstein food going to benefit the environment? It's almost like a catch-22, especially for people who are new to alternative meats, and they decide they don't want to eat, a lot of meat, and they want to maybe have meatless Mondays or something like that. And they hear about these products, and everybody's talking about it, and they try it. And oh my God, this tastes so good, and I can afford it. Right? It's definitely a catch-22. And even though I've had my share of junk vegan food, and when I say junk, I mean, it may not be genetically modified, and anything like that, but it's higher calories and a lot more fat. So I wouldn't necessarily eat vegan junk food every day. Because you think it's hard to lose weight eating regular fast food. Try eating vegan junk food every day. You're going to get swole real quick. And like some of the nut milk, nut-based milk, you have to drink more of it to get an equivalent amount of protein or whatever, calcium or whatever, from regular milk, cow milk. But then if you're drinking more almond milk, guess what? You're going to be drinking more calories, and you're going to be drinking more fat. So you kind of got to think of it that way too. So it can get a bit tedious when you're trying to be vegan, trying to be vegetarian, new to everything, and you're trying to find, because everyone in your household probably are not excited about the new changes in their foods, you know. A lot of kids like chicken nuggets, you know, cheese sticks, pizza, and stuff like that. And like shifting their food and the little treats you would give them typically to a healthier option. Unless you know what you're doing in the kitchen, the healthier option is probably not going to taste as good based on what they've been brought up to eat. And so you as an adult, you could probably tolerate it. But then trying to get your whole family, your whole household on the same wavelength. Now, I don't have kids, but I live in a home where people don't have the same dietary needs. So literally, I would have my meal, then the next person will have their meal, and the next person will have their meal. And it's like no one's eating the same thing. Everyone's eating something different. But then when you have children, it's more complicated, I would think. Because children already are picky eaters anyway. So you kind of gotta I think it's easier just to get the kids when they're really young and don't introduce them to McDonald's or anything like that. Just kind of slowly, you know, as they get older, maybe introduce them to little things here and there. But obviously, if they are living within a regular society, public school system and all that, it's going to be very difficult to keep them on a conservative meal plan. Let's just put it that way. Not saying that it's impossible, but it's going to be somewhat of a challenge. A friend of mine, son didn't really want to eat meat when he was really young, when he was really little. And she was trying to, like, you know, introduce him to different meats and, you know, as far as her background, trying to introduce him to different cuisines that had meat in it. And he would like pick over, and I don't want that. So she bought him a Happy Meal at McDonald's. And obviously he played with a toy, ate the French fries. But then one day he ate the hamburger. And the rest is history. So he ate this hamburger and it just unlocked, you know, the gate of food addiction. And so obviously he eats meat now and everything, but a lot of children, they don't want to eat, you know, it's almost like maybe they're old souls. And so when they start eating solid foods in this lifetime, they notice that it's poor quality. It doesn't taste good. And like, why are y'all eating this? This is nasty. But eventually they'll start eating like everybody else. So you have that. But I think that's probably the easiest way is to just don't introduce children very young to toxic foods. McDonald's French fries are very addictive. We already know that. If you don't live under a rock, you probably done had McDonald's French fries. Such French fries that never mold, by the way. You have a French fry somewhere that dropped between your seat and your car, been there for 3 years. Find it, clean out your car, and that French fry still looks as if it did the day it got cold when you first bought it. That should tell you something. I used to work at McDonald's in high school. And the foods would come over already frozen. And, you know, you just drop it in the grease or throw it on the griddle, fry it up, put some seasoning on top, throw the cheese on there, which probably was fake cheese. It's loaded with salt and all kinds of chemicals to make it taste good. So anyway, the point of this video mostly was about Amazon. And it's not just about Indigenous American issues or problems. Most of the time when you see something going on that's related to Indigenous people in the environment, it's to help all of us. Not just Indigenous American people, everybody. But they are initially, they are the ones who are on the front line. They see what's going on. They're crying out of whatever they need to do to stop the corporations or the developers to go in. And it's not just for them. That's the misconception, I think, when people just flipping through the news and not really paying attention. And, oh, okay, yeah, those people. But guess what? It's not just those people. That destruction of our Mother Earth affects us all. It affects us all. Not just those people over there that don't have religion, as some people want to look at them as. For the most part, Indigenous people have been in balance with nature, with highest divinity, with Creator. They understand the spirits within plants and trees, just the environment in general. They get it. They didn't necessarily have to have that written down somewhere. They live it. Everything that we ever need is in nature. Everything. We don't need scientists to create this synthetic chemicals to put a Band-Aid on an issue that Mother Nature already has a solution for. The solution is there. And so destroying the Amazon or any other vegetation, any other parts of our planet is destroying ourselves. It's destroying ourselves. And yes, again, going vegetarian, vegan, or whatever, initially, it's so you can feel good. Many people, they change their diet because they just feel horrible. But once you get past that and you recognize the main benefit of going vegetarian, vegan, or whatever, it's not just about you. It's not just about me. It's about all creation. That's why I don't eat chicken. That's why I don't eat pork. That's why I don't eat beef. Now, again, I'm not a vegan. I'm leaning more towards vegan these days. But the more I see so much destruction for the sake of a hot dog or a hamburger, the less it's about me feeling better or feeling good and feeling whatever. More so now, it's like, okay, something got to give here. Something got to give. So back to the Frankenstein food. Definitely, I'm not a fan of it. All that's doing is going to create another issue with our health. And this is another thing that I need to start doing, y'all. I really need to start eating in season and locally. Which, I mean, I do go to some farmers markets and fruit stands and stuff like that occasionally. I don't go as much as I used to. I definitely need to pay close attention to foods that are in season and eat those foods that are in season. I mean, that's just something I'm gonna have to do. Most of the stuff that I get, like fruits and stuff, they coming from California or somewhere else, but not local. And by the time I do purchase it in by the second day, the fruit's already gone bad. Now I spent extra money for organic fruit from California. And it was like a waste. I said most of the fruit that I had in there, had to throw it out. And to me, that's just not worth it. It's just not. Plus, you know, gasoline and from the time the fruit was picked up until the time I purchased it, wasted. One thing I learned about fruits and vegetables, you need to go ahead and eat it within, I would say, 2 to 3 days after you picked it. Obviously, the first day consuming a fruit or vegetable, that first day once you pick it, has the most nutrients, minerals, vitamins, all that. And the longer you go after it first was picked, it loses more and more and more vitamins and minerals. And then we have to rely on vitamins and supplements, which I think a lot of those multivitamin supplements, pretty much when you pee it out, that's pretty much it. It's not even absorbing properly. So you have that. It's like a never-ending cycle. When you think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then you have another hurdle, and then another hurdle, and then one after that one. So all those people just starting to get excited about the veganism movement or whatever like that, and they just got into it, right? Versus me, that I've been around for a minute with this whole vegetarian lifestyle, and I still am torn, you know? And I just feel like there's something out there on a spiritual level that's against us from evolving. That's what I think. And you have these companies that create Impossible Burger and the likes. They're hurdles. Hello, Linnell Vital. Hello. Thanks for watching. This video, I'm kind of like talking out loud, thinking out loud about what's going on down in the Amazon. And people who are new to the vegetarian lifestyle and veganism and things of that nature, and not understanding. Yes, you may not be eating a cow, but what are you eating? Do you understand protein isolate? Do you understand other chemicals that they put in these alternative foods to make them mimic what you've been accustomed to eating? A lot of the stuff, they add so much more sodium to the items, and the list goes on and on and on. And so they may be like, well, it's vegan. Well, it's not meat. And me, I understand how it is when you first get into this stuff and you're trying to weave through all the junk that's on the shelves to get the quality. I bought this one book. It's called Eat This, Not That. I didn't promote it at the beginning of this video because I didn't really think about it. But that was actually a shopping grocery store guide for me when I first bought it. I'm not sure where that book is right now, and I don't want to spend the time to look for it. But what I'll do is I will probably put in the description box later a link to find the book if you're interested in it. But I remember I bought that book, and it really helped me pick certain brands, and not just the brand, but the item of choice, and compare it with another item of choice. And this book was designed to help you get through the maze that we call grocery aisles to shop better. And that was very helpful. Like, there was like a glossary in the back of all these chemicals. You know how you look at the ingredients on the box of cereal, whatever, and it's so many terms that you never heard of because it's not natural, right? And you're trying to figure out, okay, what the hell is this, and is it going to kill me eventually? So the glossary will definitely help you understand what you're consuming. For instance, I remember I went to this one festival. I think it was a vegan festival a few years back. And they were marketing this marshmallow, a vegan marshmallow. And I have to admit, this is before I did some research and knew what ingredients to stay away from. Even though they claim to be vegan or vegetarian, there's some ingredients that they add in it that can cause harm. And I remember I said, oh, these taste just like marshmallows. They're good. Oh, and they're vegan. Okay. I think I'm going to buy some next time I go to the store. Bought the marshmallows. Called myself making s'mores, right? Gluten-free graham crackers. And 70% dark chocolate, cocoa, whatever. Because that's like 70 and up is the type of chocolate you want to eat, the type of dark chocolate you want to eat. 70% and up. So I got like 70% bitter dark chocolate. But then when I paid attention after getting that book, I was just talking about different ingredients to kind of stay away from. And one of those ingredients was, let me see if I can find it. Corrosion. Even though it was not at the top of the list of ingredients, it was the very last ingredient. But corrosion is not safe at all. And it additive used to thicken, emulsify, and preserve foods and drinks. It's an additive that they put in foods to help give it a longer shelf life. We last at least a week or two. We don't buy it, and 2 days later, so these companies, they add these ingredients in there just so it can have a longer shelf life. So corrosion, CARRAGEENAN. So the side effects will be inflammation, bloating, irritable bowel syndrome, glucose intolerance, colon cancer. That should have been the first one on the list, and food allergies. And it goes on and on and on. So that particular ingredient is in a lot of ice cream, which is kind of, it's vegan or whatever. It doesn't have dairy in it. But that ingredient's in a lot of ice cream. It's in a lot of sweet snacks and stuff. You'll find it in the ingredients, the list of ingredients. And so, yeah, Eat This, Not That is the book that I'm talking about that will help a lot of people who are just starting out in the vegetarian and or the vegan era. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that they're marketing and it's not as healthy as you think it is. Also, what I was just thinking about, and one thing about going to a lot of these vegetarian, vegan festivals and stuff, and you get to try free samples, so you can kind of like decipher, is this something that you want to invest in as far as at the grocery store every week, or you want to purchase whatever. So they'll give you a sample to see if you like it or whatever. And then if you want it, you can buy it there or you can buy it online. And that's great and everything. But I want to know what's in it. Because I remember one festival I went to, it was a long line. The food smelled delicious. I even went back on the other side of the tent to see what they were frying up. And then I said, so what is the meat substitute? And I was told it was Beyond Burger. And at that time, I didn't really know much about Beyond Burger. So I was like, okay. And I just walked away. But a lot of these vendors, these vegan vendors, they don't even tell you what kind of meat substitute it is. You have to literally beg them to tell you, okay, so it's not a cow, okay? It's not a pig. So what are you using? And so, but yeah, this year at DC Veg Fest, I did notice that many of the vendors did put what kind of meat alternative it was. If it was soy, if it was seitan, if it was whatever. So at least, or whatever the brand was that they're utilizing. So whatever it is, they would say what it is. I remember I went to Ben's Chili Bowls in DC, obviously after I became a vegetarian. But they're known for their chili dogs or whatever. And so they actually had a vegetarian version of a chili dog. Unfortunately, they were using this brand called Morningstar, and I really don't like their alternative meat. I don't really like their alternative meat. But I went ahead and I got the chili dog anyway. And I think what they utilized as well was Morningstar beef in the chili. And to me, that was a miss. That was a miss. Now, maybe today, they've gotten better with the vegetarian version of their chili dogs. But when I went, it was like, I don't know. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So again, I was in the area for all these years and never went. I was in the DC area. This year will be 21 years. And all of them years, I never went to Ben's Chili Bowl. So when I found out they had a vegetarian version, I was like, okay, let me go check it out. It wasn't worth it. And of course, somebody was sitting in Obama's reserve seat. Because when he went there, they put a plaque and everything where he sat. And of course, someone was already sitting there when I was there. You know how that goes. But anyway, so that's what I have to say about that. Now, let me switch gears here to people who are not trying to do the vegan thing and they still eating regular fast food meat, which is Frankenstein food, by the way. It ain't real. Let's talk about Popeyes chicken sandwich. And all of the chaos that has happened over the past week and some change over a chicken sandwich. Got my people looking crazy out there over a chicken sandwich. Really? Is it that serious? And then I thought about that thing. I said, you know what? I would not be surprised if there's some kind of chemical that they putting in these fast foods. And it's like an addiction. People are acting like they were strung out on some kind of drug and fiending for it. Willing to kick, spit, bite, or whatever they need to do to get that sandwich. And after the initial laugh, right, I'm like, these fools are crazy. Then I thought about that thing. I was like, there could be some type of chemical that they put in these fast foods to keep people hooked. And of course, the whole chicken thing and the stereotypical, aspect of the chicken and watermelon, you know where I'm going with this, right? And I'm like, and then I was listening to this one podcaster, YouTuber that is pro-Black people. And he was saying how the marketers on Twitter were going back and forth with Chick-fil-A and Wendy's and Popeyes Chicken. Apparently the corporation, their Twitter account, going back and forth, beefing. And the way they were tweeting sound very much like somebody used the, I quote, hood language. And then I thought about what he said, and I was like, you know what? That hood language, it must have worked because they targeted a certain demographic. Then they got everybody all wound up. People started talking about it. And apparently, I think $20 million worth of marketing was done without costing Popeyes Chicken nothing due to social media. Everybody talking about this chicken sandwich. But at the same time, I'm saying to myself, and I even made a comment on this YouTuber's video about this. I said, well, obviously, the marketers had a particular demographic that they were targeting. Obviously, the particular demographic that they were targeting didn't get offended that they were using hood language on their Twitter account. Because the demographic that they were targeting probably thought that those companies were down with them. They ain't talking proper English. They're cool. They're cool, And the whole back and forth thing with the different fast food restaurants that serve chicken sandwiches, apparently. They were typing phrases that hood language people would say. So he was saying that these companies are making a mockery out of Black folks, hood Black folks. But at the same time, I'm like, well, it worked. Those hood folks, they showed out. They showed their behinds. And last time I checked, I ain't hear nobody complaining about being racially stereotyped when they was going to get those sandwiches. I ain't hear nothing about someone saying, oh, this is the disgrace how they talked on Twitter. I'm like, they're not offended. They're the targeted demographics. They ain't offended. They excited that Popeyes Chicken, which is apparently owned by a Canadian company, is not even owned by Black folks in Louisiana. This is what I'm hearing about Popeyes Chicken. Okay, just so you know. So Black dude, he was saying, the YouTuber, he was saying, how about you get all excited for a Black-owned business? And he was like, I haven't seen anybody acting a fool over food owned by Black folks. But yet people were standing in the hot sun for 3-4 hours for a chicken sandwich. I mean, he had a good point. But at the same time, I was like, well, there's this vegan, junk food vegan restaurant called Vegan, Slutty Vegan, which I have yet to try. It's based in Atlanta. And let's just put it this way. I think they use Beyond Meat. But I follow them on Facebook, and I see the videos and pictures and stuff. They have lines wrapped around the block because everybody wants to be slutified. That's their slogan. Who wants to be slutified? And so this is a Black-owned business selling vegan food, even though it's junk food. But, I mean, this is a stepping stone, okay? And people are really trying to support this company, and apparently they're doing very well. And I heard through the grapevine they may start selling their product in grocery stores, like the Slutty Vegans bacon. Now you know that's gonna be off the chain because it's soul food, you know. But I say all of this because he was saying, I've never seen people, Black folks, losing their minds over a Black-owned business, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, here's something. Slutty vegan junk food, but still vegan, Black-owned, and people are lines are wrapped around the block just to get a sandwich. And the sandwiches apparently are delicious, and people are waiting in line 2, 3, 4 hours. I've seen YouTubers giving their reviews on YouTube about their experience. They finally got vegan or slutty vegan sandwich, whatever type of sandwich they got. And they show, you know, them biting into it and their reaction and all this stuff. So people are actually supporting this Black-owned business that ain't fried chicken and all this stuff. Is actually veganized and still has flavor. But again, it's junk vegan food. It's something you don't want to eat all the time. But apparently it's working, and a lot of people are supporting it. A lot of Black folks are supporting it. So back to this whole Popeyes chicken sandwich wrapped around the county, lines, chicken running out or whatever. To me, that's embarrassing. Honestly, it's embarrassing. Now, I would stand in line for something that's good, that's halfway healthy, and it's to support a minority, in particular, you know, Indigenous American, Black, whatever. I'm willing to do that. I want to be able to show my support. I did that the other week. And I showed you guys a video about my experience in supporting a vegan Black-owned business based in DC. So we're seeing more and more of them popping up. However, we also have to ask questions. What kind of meat alternative is this? What are you putting in your ingredients? Okay, it's vegan, But a lot of that vegan stuff has cashews and coconut oil and all that, and then you use enough of it. Yes, it's vegan. Yes, they made whatever it is taste good, but a lot of the nut-based alternatives are high in fat, and you will put on weight. So you kind of have to, you definitely need to ask questions. If they're not forthcoming and already have it displayed, you know, ask them. And if they can't give you a straight answer, then just go somewhere else. Hi, SSL 1900. You say, do you have flexible thumb or hitchhiker thumb? I don't know what that means. Are you still watching? I don't know what you mean by that, SSL 1900. Flexible thumb or hitchhiker thumbs. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But thanks for watching. So I'm going to transition now to hemp. Hemp, you can do almost anything with hemp. H-E-M-P. This crop is amazing. And I'm thinking about this crop because apparently you can make plastic out of hemp. Apparently it's very biodegradable. Hemp will, you know, disintegrate or whatever within like 2 months, if that, probably less than that. So all that plastic we see floating in the ocean or whatever, and sea turtles and stuff getting caught up in plastic, hemp, it won't do that. Hemp will go away. It will disintegrate. It's biodegradable. But a lot of states have these restrictions and all this red tape for whatever reason. They want to link it to what they think is a drug, which is not. It's in the same category as marijuana. You just don't get high off of it. But hemp is very versatile. Again, you can make rope, you can make plastic with hemp. You can make clothing, fabric, right, out of hemp. And I'm linked up with, well, I guess I can consider her a Facebook friend. She's cool. She's Lumbee. She's part of the Native American Farmers Association. She has a farm, her and her husband, in South Virginia. They both was on this reality TV show called, I think, American Farmers. I want to say it was on the History Channel. It aired earlier this year in January. So anyway, it's called American Farmers if you guys care to check out some of the episodes. But anyway, she's Lumbee. And anyway, I sent her a message and I said, something about hemp, and then she responded back and she was like, oh yeah, we planted 30 acres of hemp a few weeks ago or whatever. And I don't know how many acres her and her husband has, but 30 acres is decent in my opinion. It's decent. And again, people that want to invest in something that is beneficial not only to us but also to an environment, I suggest hemp. I actually put hemp in my smoothies for protein. But hemp is so versatile. And my goal is to do some research and try to figure out which companies that are publicly traded in the stock market. I want to be able to invest in that because this is the new wave, y'all. The new wave, the new era is doing right by Mother Earth. You know, as far as what you're eating, what you're wearing, what you're living in, you know, what you're driving. So I want to be able to just get on that bandwagon, do something that's going to benefit everybody as well as myself and my bank account. And then hemp is not expensive at all to produce and to harvest. But I think some states are still, giving folks a hard time. Yeah. So don't sleep on hemp, guys. Don't sleep on hemp. I'm not. Now, granted, I don't have a farm or anything like that. But for those who do, please, please, please learn more about hemp and consider planting the hemp crop. Make it more popular than other crops. It just make things a lot more sustainable. I'm just glancing at there's plenty of farmers, there might be third, fourth generation in the agricultural business, and all they know is planting corn. All they know is planting tobacco, right? So, many farmers are trying to learn more about this crop because, they just don't know. So, and then again, you have states that want to put hemp in the same category as marijuana. Apparently, marijuana is the devil, which of course is not. And this is what I wanted to say earlier, but I got sidetracked. Mother Earth, Creator, what have you, has given us everything we could possibly ever need in nature. Period. Anything and everything we could possibly need. The solution is in nature. And so, as far as marijuana, whatever, there's a reason why that plant was created. There's a reason why. Because it has medicinal properties. That's a gift for those who are suffering. That's why it was created. So, anyway, guys, I've been on here for quite a while. Not a whole lot of chit-chatting, but that's okay. Thanks for those who have been watching. I'm assuming some of you guys came in later. Maybe you stayed. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Again, this video mostly was about our eating habits, Mother Earth, how they all relate and how they intertwine, and how we can all do better. And I'm talking to myself as well. Because as a vegetarian, I still contribute to the destruction and the devastation that affects so many people throughout this planet. And so day by day, I'm doing better. And we all can do better. And so I'm just putting this out there to encourage you guys, wherever you are in your path, wherever you are, start there and do better. And do better than yesterday. And do better the day before yesterday. We can all do better. And we have to do it together. One person eating a salad with fruit with seeds, that one person compared to billions of people. Now that's where the power is. When we all stand together, when we come together and we on one accord, then that's when we can make things happen. But first, we have to think it, know it, and speak it. And when you do that, you're going to create what you expect in your future. And again, like I said before, even though there's so much devastation going on, destruction has to happen first before things get better. That's a universal law. I don't know which one it is. I'm sure somebody out there can explain it to me. But that's how it is. There has to be destruction first. You have to pull back the Band-Aid. You have to pull back the whatever it is. It has to be exposed, the ugly, funky, dirty aspect of whatever it is. It has to be acknowledged. And in doing so, that's when you can start cleaning up. That's when you can start doing what's necessary to help not only yourself, but to help all creation. So I'm going to leave you with that. Be blessed. Be a blessing to others. Until next time. Until next time. Toodles.